Hello everyone, myself Mallanagouda, Assistant Professor, Department of AOTT, Yenepoya School of Allied Health Sciences, and today this session is about cleaning and disinfection of advanced equipments used in operation theatre. At the end of this session, the audience will be able to define disinfection, list the types of disinfectants, explain the procedure of disinfection of various equipments. So coming to the definition of disinfection, disinfection refers to the destruction of all pathogens or microorganisms capable of producing infections but not necessarily spores. All organisms may not be killed, but the number is reduced to a level that is no longer harmful to health. The chemicals that are used for disinfection process are called disinfectants. Types of disinfectants. Depending upon the efficacy of the disinfectant, they are classified as high level disinfectants, intermediate level disinfectants, and low level disinfectants. Under high level disinfectants, glutaraldehyde, hydrogen peroxide, peracetic acid, and ethylene oxide. And under intermediate level disinfectants, alcohols, iodophores, and chlorhexidine. And under low level disinfectants, quaternary ammonium compounds and chlorhexidine. So coming to the importance of disinfection, cleaning and disinfection are important components of infection control in this setup that refers to operating room. Effective infection control and prevention protocols highly decrease the transmission of communicable diseases in all hospital settings. Major causes of clinical infection is the lack of consistent compliance by hospital workers with basic prevention techniques. Failure to follow principles as well as ineffective failure to follow the principles as well as ineffective equipment decontamination and site preparation has contributed to a rise in rates of surgical infections. The clinician should support patient safety through the use of evidence-based infection control practices. Next coming to the disinfection of anesthesia workstation and ventilators. So, turn off the anesthetic gases, close the cylinders, remove the anesthetic circuit from the machine, detaching it from the common gas outlet. Disassemble the circuit and gently clean tubes, connectors, and rebreathing bags in mild detergent to remove organic matter such as blood and saliva, and then rinse them well. All the surfaces of the anesthesia machine, particularly knobs and the monitor, should be cleaned with an appropriate intermediate or low level disinfectant on daily basis, usually at the end of working day or immediately if contaminated. Before the next case, items should be placed on a clean surfaces. Chemical disinfection. One should immerse the parts in the disinfectant and follow manufacturer's instructions. Accepted disinfectants include ammonia, amphil, bleach, cavicide, control 3, isopropyl alcohol, etc. The exposure of the parts to more concentrated disinfectant or excessive time may shorten the product's life. Here is the flowchart of cleaning and disinfection of dirty circuits of home mechanical ventilation. So first cleaning at 65 degrees dishwasher or brush detergent and hot water, then rinsing it and then drying based on the diagnosis, if it is a obstructive patient and a restrictive patient. So if it is a restrictive patient with very dirty circuits or invasive ventilation or obstructive patient, so the disinfection should be done with hypochlorite solution with 20 minutes of soaking in a concentration of 0.5%, then with a high temperature disinfection more than 75 degrees Celsius. If not, no disinfection is needed. Sporadic control and then cleaning. Next, coming to the disinfection of surgical robots. Most robotic instruments are semi-reusable and need to be decontaminated after each use up to 10 times. Unlike other endoscopic instruments, robotic instruments are cleaned without disassembly. The structure of robotic instruments is only designed to achieve fine manipulation and durability, whereas cleaning adequacy would not be the top priority in assembling the instruments. Due to their complex architecture, the cleaning and disinfection procedure for robotic instruments is much more time consuming than that of conventional surgical instruments. Most robotic instrument manufacturers instructions for use now recommend ultrasonic irrigation and cleaning for their instrument. Ultrasonic cleaning systems are made to thoroughly process the robotic instruments. Robotic cleaners can gently remove bloods, fluids, and soil from joints, hinges, and interior space on human and robotic instruments. Use a mixture of water and enzymatic detergent to soften and lift off sticky residues. Cavitation created by the ultrasonic transducers produces a vacuum and scrubbing action that cleans the most delicate parts of the robotic instruments without harming them. With specially designed instrument trays and adapters, they irrigate the robotic instruments shafts using cavitation to scrub hard to reach places. Both detergent and bioburden can then be flushed from the instruments with an automatic rinse and air purge. Next, coming to the disinfection of surgical microscopes. An operating or surgical microscope is an optical instrument that provides the surgeon with a stereoscopic, high quality magnified and illuminated image of the small structures in the surgical area. Microscope optics should be inspected and cleaned on a weekly basis or early if dirty. Keep the microscope in a dry, cool, and well ventilated place to prevent fungus growth on the optical lens. Every week, clean the optics according to the optical cleaning instructions described in a previous issue. To protect it from dust when not in use, drape a cover over the microscope. Vinyl coverings are preferred because they do not shed lint like cloth coverings do. However, their use should be avoided in humid environments since they can trap moisture which increase the risk of fungal growth. Wipe down the external surfaces with a damp cloth soaked in hot soapy water. Cover the foot pedal with a clear plastic bag to prevent surgical and cleaning fluids from entering and damaging the electronics. Lift the foot pedal off the floor when washing the floor. Use a voltage stabilizer with a microscope. This will prevent sudden increase in voltage from destroying the bulbs and will ensure that illumination provided remains constant. Before using, test the controls of the foot pedal. Before using, check that the suspension arm can be fixed into position to ensure that it does not fall on the patient. Avoid kinking or bending the fiber optic cables. When replacing the bulbs, avoid touching them with fingers. The oil left as fingerprints on the bulb can shorten its life. Do not move the microscope while bulb is still hot because strong vibrations may damage the filament. Every 6 months, clean and oil the wheels and the brakes. Remove any surplus oil when done. Next, coming to the disinfection of CR. CR machines are widely used during orthopedic, urology, gastroenterology, surgeries, other complicated surgeries, pain management and emergency procedures, cardiac and angiography studies, and in therapeutic studies including stents or needle placement. Regular sterilization of the CR. A CR is used on many patients regularly. Therefore, the chance of dust, dirt, and debris getting accumulated are high, resulting in electrical issues. The CR has to be cleaned regularly in accordance with the directions specified in the service manual. The wheels of the monitor cart and the CR have to be checked frequently for sutures and debris, as they have the ability to damage the braking systems and interrupt drivability. protecting using the drapes. CM machines often get exposed to bodily fluids like blood and the like, which is a major drawback for both the patients and the X-ray machine when left uncleaned or undraped properly. Hence, to prevent major disasters, it is very important to use CM drapes while carrying out medical imaging procedures. Safeguard the CM monitor. The CM monitor can be put to sleep mode from 5 to 99 minutes in the case of inactivity for a considerable period of time. Sleep mode for a short period of time saves the image from getting burned, beside preventing the damage to the monitors, which can develop into an unrepairable one with longer sleep hours. Timely maintenance of the C-arm and its other components by adhering to the guidelines of the service manual and sometimes that of qualified service engineer prevents unfortunate hazards, beside increasing the lifespan of the X-ray machine. Next, coming to the disinfection of operating room table. Check whether the power cord and power switch indicator light included in each plug are normal, whether hand controlled socket is tripped or not locked, whether the bed surface fastening bolts are locked. Check whether the accessories such as the bed board, backboard, touch board and bedside fastening bolts are in good condition. Since the electric integrated operating table adopts hydraulic pressure, the fuel tank should be checked frequently. Lower the bed surface to the lowest levels. Check the remaining amount of hydraulic oil in the oil tank. It should be kept above the oil level line, and observe whether the oil is emulsified due to long-term use. If it is emulsified, it should be replaced immediately. The oil should be changed every 2 years. Because the operating table is used every day, and sometimes several operations are performed a day, the operating table must be kept clean and hygienic during long-term use. After the operation is completed, be sure to cut off the power supply, clean the outside of the operating bed, remove the residual blood stains and dirt from the operation and spray disinfectant. Do not use strong corrosive or acidic cleaners and disinfectants, and it is also strictly forbidden to rinse with water. When rinsing and disinfecting the floor, the bottom wheels of the operating table should be dropped and pushed to a dry place to prevent the interior from getting wet. So, summary of this session is: medical professionals are involved in the care of patients who harbor potential pathogens. In the healthcare settings requiring the expeditious performance of multiple and complex tasks and procedures, sterilization of equipments is often overlooked despite the adequate knowledge of the nosocomial infections. Therefore, there is a need to have proper guidelines for disinfection and sterilization of equipments in operating room environments as well as in intensive care units. The recommendation should be strictly adhered to, and monitoring of sterilization procedures done along with the hospital authorities, simultaneously protecting themselves, adhering to compliance. The recommendation should be strictly adhered to, and monitoring of sterilization procedures done along with the hospital authorities, simultaneously protecting themselves by adhering to compliance. These are the references. Thank you.